Hey, clinicians in private practice. Welcome to This is Private Practice for Monday, the 2nd of July. The 2nd of July. I am sitting in a different part of my office today, as you can see, because you're all going, what's happened? Joe looks different. Everything looks different. It's been so cold here that I am sitting almost on top of the room space heater, which is obviously down here where I keep looking. I am not enjoying how cold it is. So I have taken over the standing desk, well, the sit to stand desk, and made myself very comfortable because the heater fits under the desk. And that is how I have become comfortable. Hey, Jen. Hey, Jen. Hey, Scylla, you're here. Hey, happy Sunday evening, Scylla. Hope it's going well for you. So I've made it back to work, and oh, wow, last week was a really interesting week. I got really sick, which actually happens when I get really stressed. So, surprise, I had a really stressful event occur the week before I went on holidays where the fabulous Sophie did a really significant job injuring her left knee. And I did my usual thing where I completely freaked out and panicked because I'm awesome at that. It's obviously how I have trained my neural pathways, which Sophie and I have been laughing about quite a lot since then. Well, we laughed about it today for about an hour when I got back. So I had to spend a bit of time in bed, which was not awesome. But we went to sunny Queensland where it rained. So I feel like Queensland, you sold me a lie. That whole advertisement about beautiful one day, perfect the next, not when it rains for 4 days. Because when you go to Queensland and it rains, it's not like, hi, nice little light rain, you can walk around. It's like dumping down on top of you. You ain't going to see out of your eyes. That was torrential rain. But I got to drink lots of coffee. I ate yummy food once I got my appetite back. I listened to all my audiobooks a lot, plus some new ones. And I spent some time writing my book. And I met up with my editor today, Kelly, thank you. And we've ticked so much off my list in terms of my book. It's more than half done. And she's pretty clever at hacking authors. I'm a bit proud of that right now. So I was able to relax because I was forced to, and spend some time replenishing because I was forced to, and then got to do something creative, which writing is really creative for me. I was actually remembering when I was a little girl, I loved Enid Blyton books. I really did. And I was always wanting to read books. I love reading. And I love reading stories that I get absorbed in. And I go on a little journey with the characters in a book. And sometimes as a child, I didn't really pull myself out of that. I don't know if anyone can relate. So I'd always fantasized about being this author. Now I look at how much writing I do every day, every week. I write a lot of content. If you've ever been on the Joe Muirhead website, there's a lot of content there. And over at Purple Co, there's a lot of content there. Plus I do a lot of writing for other people. So for me, writing's become this great creative outlet. So I really appreciated learning that about myself and acknowledging that about myself and enjoying that. So that's why I was writing while I was away, because it doesn't feel like work. My social media doesn't feel like work for me either. So that was pretty interesting, being available to be on social media. There are some things I don't do on social media when I'm on holiday, but yeah, it's nice to be able to connect with people on a more social level and help people out who are asking genuine questions. So that was pretty cool. But here in Australia, we're into July, which means we have finished our end of the financial year, because in Australia, we decided that the 30th of June was a great time of year to decide that we have to get all our taxes due. So if any of you Northern Hemisphere people are connected to any other Australians, you'll notice lots of posting and encouragement and affirmation around what are we going to do for the next year and set some goals and rah, rah, rah. Yeah. So it's time to do that now. It's time to make sure that you get all those shoe boxes filled with receipts out and into the air, and then you go and invest in some good bookkeeping software or an awesome person who can do that for you. So I'm really excited by that, because the end of the financial year shows me where my money has come from, where the revenue is going to, and how I'm using it in my business. And each year as my income grows, because it does, and it grew again this year, the rate of growth, I will admit, has stopped, but I think that's okay. Making 40% on 40% over 8 years is probably not sustainable. But it allows me to be able to go, what's working, what's not working, what can we do more of, what do we need to do less of? And I'm always really excited by the numbers in my business. And this is me coming out of 6 months where we had to work really, really hard to get rid of some unhelpful debt. I had accumulated quite a lot of unhelpful debt. Thank you, Evolution of Psychotherapy Conference last December. That was a big spend with not a lot of return on investment. Just saying. So I have worked really hard with my great team to be able to minimize we got rid of it. We currently don't have any inappropriate or lagging debt. Everybody's been paid up to date, and we're about to embark on some new expenditure that allows this business to grow. So that's pretty exciting. I've also created a new role. There is a brand new role. I created a job. Ha! Go Jo and her contributions to the Australian economy. So I now have a casual employee who is our marketing and communications consultant. He's employed 1 day a week, and he's doing a great job. All of that, it took me ages to work out that when I get somebody who understands this business and understands how to communicate the messages of this business, then I can actually hand this bit on. I'm a control freak. I didn't want to do that. But this guy, he's so cool. He understands the messaging and the communication, especially around Purple Co. And not many people get that. And not many people get how to explain that to funding bodies and families, not to mention clients who need our services. So I'm really impressed with what he's been doing. Quite analytical, showing me where the gaps are in our content strategy, which doesn't make me feel great, but hey, he's around and can help me fill those gaps. So I'm feeling pretty excited about that. He's been a really good addition, really great addition to the team. So I'm excited to see how that progresses. And if you don't know, it's actually my son, Anthony, who is studying marketing, comms and international studies at university, and came in and did some work for us a little while ago. It was awesome. I knew I needed this role. He applied for it, and ta-da. So that's how it works. So he's left his landscaping job now so he can do this. Cool. Excellent. So I will admit that I did get a bit anxious coming back to work today, and it's sometimes hard to know whether it was anxious or excited, or anxious or excited. So I did go to yoga, and I am still in my yoga gear from this morning, hence why the hair looks like it's been yogaed. And it's kind of taken me all day to calm down enough to go, nobody died. Nothing bad's happened. In fact, really good stuff is happening. Your business doesn't rely on you 100% all of the time, and you're allowed to have a week off. Not that I felt like I wasn't allowed to have a week off, but I did feel like if I took a week off, bad things were going to happen. So I've got some rewiring of my brain to do there, and also I need to improve the way I resource my team, because I obviously still feel like this business can't survive without me. And that's never healthy for a person, and it's never healthy for a business. The other really exciting thing that's happened in the last week is a brand new free training of mine was made available for people who listen to the Private Practice Startup podcast. My episode went out last week along with a brand new training, and that training is having a significant impact on people who want to learn how to craft a conversation for the purposes of networking in person with people. And the amount of comments and the thoughtfulness and insightfulness that's going on through that training is just out of sight, and I'm so grateful for the people who take the time to go through the trainings and appreciate it and let you know how much it's helpful, because putting together a free anything for anyone takes time, effort, and you have to think about it. And I don't know if you're anything like me, but then I get worried that it's never going to be good enough. So it's always like with held breath that you press the go live button on anything, because, you know, you're a bit scared that someone's not going to like it and they're going to let you know. So I'll post later on the page about that free training so people can access it. It'll be great for those of you who have team members who express to you that they struggle in knowing how to have a conversation with somebody in a networking situation. This training seriously deconstructs how to have that conversation in 5 pretty easy. I think the longest one is 12 minutes, the video, how to put it together, and you deconstruct it and then you reconstruct it, and you walk away knowing exactly what to say and how to say it. So it's pretty cool stuff. So this week I have the Purple Co event happening. All right, Scylla, I will get that training on the Facebook page for you and learn how to tag you in that post. I have an event happening this week for Purple Co where we've got about 16 people coming in, and I've got a couple of speakers turning up to really speak into the world of rehabilitation and people who do the work that we do. And it's got customers, and we've got an ex-client or 2 turning up, which I wasn't expecting, but that's pretty cool, and referral partners and people who are just interested in what we do and how we do it. So I'm really looking forward to hosting this lunch and having these people in a room and being able to express the passion that I have for this sort of work, and to help others that do this work understand that we're needed and necessary for people to regain control of their life and be able to feel like they can have their lives back. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm a bit nervous because I'm a human. And the rest of the week is pretty much lots of delivery on. Yay! So I'm looking forward to getting into my week, and I've got chapter 1 of my book to now write, because my clever editor started me at 3. So I've done 3, 4, and 5. Now I've got to go back and do 1 and 2, and then got some more work to do, and then the beginning and the end. Yeah. She basically hacked my brain, and it worked for me. So I'm going to love you and leave you today. Thank you for those who joined in. I'm looking forward to sharing the rest of the week with you and celebrating on Friday. Don't forget, we'll be celebrating on Friday. Go be your fabulous self, people.